The Wisconsin Historical Society Press presents Modern Jungles, a Hmong refugee's childhood story of survival. Written by Pao Lohr. Narrated by Craig Pierce. Text copyright 2021 by the Wisconsin Historical Society Press. Audio production made possible through a partnership of the Wisconsin Historical Society Press and Audio and Braille Literacy Enhancement, Inc. Audiobook copyright 2022 by Able. Introduction. Quote, "There is no easy walk to freedom anywhere, and many of us will have to pass through the valley of the shadow of death again and again before we reach the mountaintop of our desires." Nelson Mandela. End quote. Growing up in the jungles of Laos during the late 1970s, my childhood was one of isolation and tradition, then war, and a long flight for refuge. Unlike my colleagues, friends, and neighbors who grew up in the United States, I didn't go to school, play sports, or celebrate birthdays as a young child. My days were taken up with doing chores, playing in my village, and following my clan and tribe through the seasonal routines of living and farming in the mountains. Not even the most forward-thinking person in our small world could have predicted what would happen to the Hmong in the 1970s, or where my life would take me. Almost 5 decades later, my family and I call Kimberly, Wisconsin, home. Kimberly is a small community about 30 miles southwest of Green Bay, a place none in the village of my youth had ever heard of. I live there with my wife, Maya, and our 4 children, our sons Sterling, Phoenix, and Reeve, and our daughter China. I am hopeful that Kimberly will be our home for many years, that my children will never be uprooted from their lives as their grandparents and I were, and that they know the kind of happiness that their ancestors fought hard for them to have. Today, I hold the Patricia Wood Bear Professorship in Education at the University of Wisconsin, Green Bay, where I am also chair of the Professional Program in Education. Maya is a social worker in northeastern Wisconsin, working for the Outagamie County Health and Human Services since 1997. Maya and I have achieved a level of security and success that 25 years ago would have seemed surreal to me, and even today I think of my life as an ongoing struggle. A chance encounter prompted me to think about my past more deeply, to pause and look back on what I have been through during my journey from Laos to the United States. One day, after I had concluded a presentation sharing my life experiences and perspectives on the Hmong American diaspora, an audience member approached me and asked, "Have you ever considered writing a book about your life?" I was surprised and excited, but also at a loss for words. I thought to myself, "What? A book about me? I haven't done anything worth writing about." For years afterward, I imagined what a book about my life would look like. I asked myself if audiences would find my life experiences intriguing and if there might be others like me. If so, would a book about my life help them? Finally, I wanted the book to serve a greater purpose, to be an homage to Hmong Americans, to refugees who may share similar experiences to mine, and to all the individuals, organizations, communities, and countries that offer hope and opportunity to oppressed and persecuted peoples around the world. With that, I set out to see where writing my story would take me.